if you're trying to learn how to flat tailwhip, this video is definitely for you. Alright, hi, my name's David Anderson, and I've been getting a lot of questions on how to tailwhip.
Ooh!
I'm gonna start by telling you a story. Tailwhips took me about 2 summers to learn. I didn't land them in either of those summers, but that's when all the learning took place. It was my between freshman and sophomore summer. I was trying to learn tailwhips, and it really didn't kick in until about like the last week before school that I was really on top of whips trying to learn them. So I'm about to start sophomore year of high school, and I'm trying tailwhips. So it came the day before high school started up for me again. So going into sophomore year, and I want to learn tailwhips. I want to say I'm a sophomore and I can tailwhip flat. Like that was my goal. So it really helps if you set out goals to land it. I didn't learn how to tailwhip until my junior year of high school. So don't get frustrated if these tricks are terrible. Tailwhips are hard, especially flat. That's just how I want to learn them, and if that's how you want to do it, I'm just telling you that it's not impossible. The day before sophomore year started, I was out front of my house trying to learn flat tailwhips, and I'd get all the way around, my feet would be like that. My feet all spread apart. I'd be like that every single time. I could not get on the pedals. So I ended up being outside till past dark, an hour maybe. Already riding since like 12 till dark, and that's in the summertime, so it doesn't get dark here until like 8 or 9. And my hands were bleeding. I had every single callus was ripped off, and my thumb, it was all like missing skin just from holding the grips. And I mean, these are ODIs, like they're soft grips. That's how long I was trying these tailwhips on that day. I'm not saying that's a good idea, but this is definitely a mental trick too. Through Shin Guards, I get pedal bites because they're tailwhips and I got metal pins, but that's how I wanted to learn them. So there was no chance in me learning them fly out. I like to learn everything flat. I don't know why. I did my first truck flat. My only truck flat, because I only landed one of those. Bar spins, 180 bars, tailwhips, everything I learned flat, 360s. I can't do fly out tricks. A lot of people ask what it feels like when you ride away from it. The first one that I rode away from was so strange feeling to me that I was rolling after doing this trick, because I can't even count hundreds or thousands of attempts of tailwhips where you just try and tailwhip and then you stop and you're on your feet. Kept rolling. I was like, did I just land that? It was like the best thing ever. I'd say the first step would be, you don't really have to hop that high. A lot of people are like, oh, hop as high as you can. You need a decent size hop, but the first step is kick, obviously. That's not the most important step, and honestly, after you can learn how to tail it, you can forget about the kick. That's how you get the rotation started. So the bike starts to go around, you kick it. Like if you're right foot forward, you're going to kick with your left foot, I think. Is that how I tail it? Yeah. So you kick with your back foot when you're tail whipping. If that's not how you feel comfortable, I can't really give you any tips because that's not how I learned. It's possible though. I know a few riders that do that, a few pros, so you can make it. It's definitely easier if you are kicking with your back foot. I ride right foot forward and I kick with my left foot. You'll get the kick, maybe you'll get the bike halfway around with a kick, and that's because there's more to tailwhips than just a kick. So, yeah. And that means that your arms spin in a, well, for me it's like counterclockwise, but if you're left foot forward, you should be going clockwise with your arm rotation. That is the most important step, is your arms. It's the only part of your body that is still connected to the bike, so it's the only part of your body that's controlling the bike. So arms, most important. What you want to do, keep your arms down, which you can't really see. I'll have slow-mos and clips and stuff, but you want to keep your arms straight down, and you want to have a tight circle. Obviously your bars are wider than that, but a tight circle. If it's too tight, there won't be any movement with your bike, but if it's too large, your bike's going to end up like feet away from you. You might still be holding on to it, but if your arms are out here, the back of the bike's over there, and you won't be able to land on it. This is all going to be out of order, but I'll have better tips for you. Best tip I can give you, alright, second best tip I can give you. The second best tip I can give you is that tail whips are going to be ugly on your first couple attempts, first however many attempts it takes you. It took me like 6 months spread over 2 years to learn, so it'll take a long time. First tail whip I landed, one foot was on the pedal, the other foot was like floating. I just happened to ride away without putting my foot down, so I was like, well, if I can do it once, I can do it again. And that's same with bar spins. I suck at bar spins. I'm not doing a how-to on bar spins. So don't be discouraged if you think they're going to be ugly, because once you start to be able to get your arms consistent, your kicks consistent, you have high enough hops to get the whip all the way around. I'm assuming that you're at the point where you can get the whip all the way around, maybe next to you. I'm gonna go through a couple different types of problems that I know I had with whips and that I see a lot of people having with whips. Most of them are the same exact thing, like same fix, which is your arms. But I also have a great tip that helped me learn and that I haven't heard anyone use in any of their how-tos on tail whips. I didn't learn any tricks from how-tos. They haven't helped me. I am making one because I find tips that I haven't seen in how-tos and I just want to share them with you guys. The biggest problem I had with whips was that my feet were not getting to the pedals. Obviously, after a while of trying, I could get it either next to me or under me, no problem, every time. It's a tiring trick, but if I wanted to, I could get the frame in between my legs. My feet were far apart, so I was like, alright, how do I jump in the air and keep my feet the right distance apart to land on the pedals? Catching cranks was not an option for me, and I probably couldn't if I tried right now. I don't know how it is for you guys or park riders. I'm so street that I can't learn anything fly out, so there was no point in me catching whips. I didn't have enough air time to need to catch cranks. So once I landed one with pedals, it's just been pedals ever since then, and I don't land whips any other than pedals. So the tip I have for you landing only pedals is to do a no-footer can. Yeah, that's right. Tail whip, no-footer can. It sounds like it'd be a cool combo, but it works together in a way that just makes it a clean tail whip. So, like I was telling you, I do my tail whips, like, they spin to the left. Like, the tail starts to spin to the left. So, I also can to the left side of my bike. So, you know, like that. And no footer cans, you're sitting here, kick both feet to one side. And that is how I land my tail whips every single time. I have to think about that every single time, or else I won't land the trick. That's my number one tip for tail whips, especially landing them flat. So I'd say give that a try. When you do the no footer can, it's not going to necessarily feel like no footer can, and if you're like, well, I can't no footer can, that's not a problem. I can't really no footer can, and if I do, it's like my knees are all crunched up, but you just have to think about it mentally, not have like a perfectly extended, like both knees fully extended while you're tail whipping. That's not the point. The point is that when I used to tail whip, I would throw my feet apart. I'd kick with one foot and my feet would be separated. I'd get the bike all the way around, and that's the first part of the trick, but the second part is to keep your feet together. So the way I just learned that was kick both feet, like I'd kick this way, so I'm riding towards you right now. I'd kick my feet that way and then bring them over with my feet together, and they would automatically land straight in the pedals. I'm going to show you a ton of slow-mo tail whip clips where you can see just that. My knees are crunched up, my feet are together, kind of angled to the side, and that's the easiest way to tail whip that I know. If you guys have any other how-to tricks you want me to try, learn for myself and then teach you guys, or tricks you've seen on my Instagram right across the bottom of the screen, you can either comment here on YouTube or on my Instagram. I read all of your guys' comments. If you DM me, I'll respond. Just tell me what you want to hear, what you want to learn, and I'll get to it. I got so many comments on tail whips, and honestly, I'm not the best person at tail whips, but I figured since no one else has given that tip that it would be useful for you guys. So here's my tip, and no foot can when you're tail whipping. It'll help.